sanctuary city for two-spirit, transgender, non-conforming, and intersex people dated August 2025. Whereas gender-diverse people such as two-spirit, transgender, gender non-conforming, and intersex, 2S-TGI, have existed throughout history and cultures, including in the local Humboldt area where the Wiyot tribe uses the term of gumel, which means both together. And whereas the city of Arcata acknowledges and values its two-spirit TGI residents, staff, and visitors who contribute to a vibrant community and deserve dignity and respect, and whereas over 1,970 anti-LGBTQ+ bills have been introduced nationally between 2023 and 2025, disproportionately targeting individuals and aiming to restrict their healthcare, participation, recognitions, and rights. And whereas the City of Arcata reaffirms its commitment to supporting 2S-TGI individuals by upholding access to gender-affirming care, recognizing the improved mental health and well-being such care provides, and whereas healthcare professionals and individuals seeking or assisting with lawful gender-affirming care in Arcata should be shielded from criminal, civil, or professional penalties. Whereas surveys show that 2S-TGI youth face mental challenges, feel unsafe at school, and fear housing loss due to anti-queer bias and legislation, and the Human Rights Watch has found that bans on gender-affirming care violate fundamental human rights. And whereas the City of Arcata will not tolerate hate, discrimination, and harassment during 2S-TGI individuals and reaffirm the inherent worth and dignity of all community members, and now therefore be it resolved that the City of Arcata recognizes gender-affirming healthcare as a matter of health, privacy, and equality, and will protect access to such care for all residents to the fullest extent permitted by the law. And now therefore be further resolved that no city resources, including staff time or property, shall be used to detain, investigate, or penalize anyone seeking, providing, or supporting gender-affirming care, and the City of Arcata shall not cooperate with or provide information to out-of-state entities regarding lawful gender-affirming healthcare or mental health care performed in California. And now therefore be it further resolved that the City of Arcata will promptly investigate threats, violence, discrimination, or hate crimes targeting 2S-TGI individuals, and work to ensure equitable access to healthcare, housing, education, and employment. And now therefore be it further resolved that the City of Arcata hereby reiterates its commitment to civil rights and equal protections and declares itself a sanctuary city and a place of safety for 2S-TGI people, dated August 6, 2025, signed by Alex Stone, our mayor, and we have Cerebrus and Alexis, and it looks like we have Julie here too to accept this. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming forward.
Hello, my name is Cerberus and my pronouns are they, them, theirs. I'm a youth advocate from Queer Humboldt. I'm also a transgender, mixed Filipino-American, disabled, and queer community member. I live on unceded Wiyot land, also known as Eureka. Like many of my loved ones in this community, I fled to Humboldt County in search of care, access, and community. I came to Humboldt County in 2018 as a student at Cal Poly Humboldt, and as I pursued my degree and grew, I found myself a home here. Humboldt County was the first place I spoke my first chosen name out loud to a crowd. It was where I first found and accessed gender-affirming care. I was able to come here and make a life for myself. And I say that not only in gratitude to what this county provided me, but also in recognition of how lonely and difficult my transition was. I did not have elders to guide me, nor did I know where the community I desperately needed was. I had general tips and advice, but so much of the beginning of my transition was alone, difficult, and full of barriers. I work every day so that the youth that come after me have more than I did, so that they know where they live is a safe place that accepts and nourishes them, so that when people flee here, there is cushion for their arrival, and so that those who grew up here know that their home has their best interests at heart. This proclamation is meaningful for so many reasons. It is so rare as a trans person to feel like someone truly has my back or has my best interests at heart. In a political climate that seeks to demonize, erase, and eradicate 2S-TGI folks, it means something when the local government says, we have your back and we want you here. We value you as human beings and as members of our community. There is so much pressure from Western society not to be a trans person, to not transition, to not know and love ourselves. When your local government stands up and declares that it will do its utmost best to ensure our safety, our right to life, love, and happiness that carries weight for the trans and gender diverse community. It leads by example, showing other cities, counties, states, the nation, and the world that safeguarding the natural diversity of human beings is how we maintain our safety, and that 2S-TGI folks are worthy of taking seriously and defending. This proclamation lays groundwork that will continue to improve the safety of two-spirit, transgender, gender diverse, and intersex people in this county, and for that I am grateful. You have no idea the lives you saved just by taking us seriously and promising to continue to fight for what is just. I'm proud to live in a community so diverse and loving, and I hope to grow even prouder as we work collectively to build brighter futures for us all. With that, I will pass it off to my coworker, Alexis.
Thank you.
First off, I want to thank the City of Arcata for showing up for the local 2S TGI community today and passing our proclamation to make Arcata a sanctuary for two-spirit, transgender, gender non-conforming, and intersex or 2S TGI people. My name is Alexis. My pronouns are he, him. I am a transgender man. I am Latino. I am from Los Angeles, a youth advocate here at Humboldt, and a fellow community member and resident on Weop territory that grew to feel at home here in Arcata for the past 3 years. This proclamation is a big deal as it signifies resistance against the oppressive movement against two-spirit and TGI folks across the nation. It acknowledges our right to exist safely and be equally deserving of happiness, and it sends the message that my local government can make the necessary efforts to take action and accountability to serve my fellow 2S TGI community members. In our society, the 2S TGI community receives little to no assistance, relief, or dignity. We have seen a concerning trend of increasingly normalized violence against our communities in recent years, which is why the current hostile attitudes towards us nationwide is not at all surprising. It is exhausting to read the same headlines calling my people all sorts of disparaging names to fuel false narratives that scapegoat us, that we're too strong to participate in gendered sports, yet too weak to join the military, that we're preying on women in restrooms or children at drag shows despite no credible evidence, that we're grooming today's youth with gender ideology, or paying doctors and scientists to approve the mutilation of body parts, which discredits the years of scientific research to back 2S LGBTQIA+ inclusive curriculum in schools, and require doctor's appointments and therapy sessions to permit one's monitored access to gender-affirming care. That our rights to accessible and safe gender-affirming care are being taken away, when studies have shown that taking away such care does not make 2S TGI kids less queer, but it will increase the likelihood of them dying from suicide or turning to harmful coping mechanisms. Headlines that there's a new court case debating over policies that are meant to protect us from discrimination in schools, workplaces, housing, employment, medical settings, etc. 2S TGI, both nationwide and locally, are increasingly becoming victims of violence or murder in domestic and public settings, and suffering disproportionately from poor mental health as a result of rampant transphobia. Imagine being a young 2S TGI and hearing such headlines daily, along with other terrifying local and global news that leaves you feeling less and less hopeful about your survival. That is the reality for 2S TGI youth today. I am thankful to come from a family back home who supported me throughout my transition, and that I came across queer Humboldt when I moved to Humboldt County when I did, so that I could feel less alone. That should not be the case. I should not be thankful that my family didn't kick me out for who I am, or that I have people who would stand up for me and fight for my dignity. The love and support that I have received should be the standard for 2S TGI individuals everywhere. 2S TGI individuals have existed for thousands of years, and were even revered or considered good omens in some cultures. When living in a world that is so blatantly cisgender heteronormative and casually undermines queer history and existence, having our basic rights and protections is the bare minimum. That is why it is so healing to be represented today by a local government that took the time to recognize the collective work, courage, research, storytelling, and organizing of dedicated people behind the scenes to put together this proclamation, and why declaring Arcata a sanctuary city is vital. This proclamation is especially vital for 2S TGI like myself and my fellow youth advocates, who all have varying backgrounds and yet can relate on these simple bases, that we're 2S and we're trans, and that our experiences of harassment, isolation, violence, and blatant or discrete discrimination for being trans is something that we can all relate to. We and other 2S TGI deserve a proclamation that recognizes our existence and our right to survive and thrive just like anyone else, especially the youth who moved here to find sanctuary and chosen families that understand and support them. For those who grew up here or have ancestral ties to this land lasting since the first generations, who would love to know that the place they call home has their backs. And for our ancestors who faced hardships and sacrifices to grant us the freedoms we have today. This 2STGI Sanctuary Proclamation, being among some of the first to exist, is history in the making. Let's honor that history by upholding this proclamation from here on out and ensuring that Arcata remains a sanctuary for all 2STGI folks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.